How many days, weeks, and months have you put into trying to hit that driver straighter or improve the contact with your irons? And how's that working out for you? Are you improving fast enough? Because for many of my students that come and see me for the first time, they say that despite putting so much effort and sweat and tears, they just don't seem to be getting the improvement that they feel like they deserve. And what I always do is I always share with them that most of the time they're choosing a way of learning that is unbelievably slow, frustrating, it often leads with anxiety, but there's a way of learning that is backed with science, that is proven to be more enjoyable, but it accelerates your rate of improvement. In this video, I want to share with you what that is, because it will help you hit driver straighter. It will help you improve the contact with your irons, but it'll do it in a way that is relaxing, it's fun, and just so much more enjoyable, right? More importantly, faster. So in this video, I'm going to share that with you. Before I do though, look, if you're new to the channel, it's one of your first videos of mine, please consider subscribing. At least videos like this one every single week to try and help you improve your game. But you never have to remember a thing. Everything I do here, I'll put into a free download practice guide in the description box below. So whether you're looking at maybe hitting the ball a little bit straighter with your irons, your driver, or whether you're looking at improving your contact, maybe even your distance too, this session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can accelerate that process in a really fun, natural and relaxing way. So let's start initially just with contact, right? So I think if you've been around golf enough now to strike a ball solidly, certainly off the ground, we want to strike the ball then the ground, right? And you know, if you've watched any of my videos, the swing's an arc like this. It's always like a circle and the club is coming down. It reaches a bottom to the circle, bottom edge of the circle, and it starts to rise up again. And the bottom of that circle is directly underneath my lead shoulder. This would be classed as maybe the center of the circle, the center of the golf swing, right? So that's the point at where the club should strike the ground. Now, notice here where my ball position is, it's a good 2-3 balls back of that. So we strike that ball, look, first, then we strike the ground. So now here's how you accelerate that and make it happen a lot faster. So a lot of times people may have heard me say something like this and they go, right, Danny says I've got to strike the ground after the golf ball. So now they're staring at the ground after the golf ball and they're trying really hard to achieve that. And that's the trying mode. That's the trying way of learning. What do you think that breeds? Tension, a fear of doing it right, wrong, whatever. It's not relaxing. Here's a slightly more accelerated way of doing this to start with. So you've got the guiding principle that you've got to strike after the golf ball, i.e. ball then the ground. Here's step one. The first thing I want you to do is not try. Forget about that completely. All I want you to do is make some swings and notice where you are striking the ground relative to the golf ball. Just pay attention. People don't do that. Just make some of your normal swings and simply notice where your club is grounding out. What happens is this, the body, and your body is unbelievably smart. It has a guiding principle, it knows where it should be now, and just the mere fact that it starts to notice where your club is striking the ground, it will start to move in such a way that starts to move that club further and further forward of the golf ball without even trying. When my students question this, I say to them it's like riding a bike. When you're riding a bike, the guiding principle is what? Balance. When you fall to the left, you don't go, oh, I need to force it to the right. No, your body has a guiding principle, and what it does is it falls left and it falls right, and over time, it finds the balance, right? Well, the same principle is true here. The balance of your swing needs to be over this side of the golf ball. Most people who are struggle or higher handicappers, they tend to have their balance over this side of the golf ball and they wonder why they're striking it fat and thin. We've got to improve your balance. We know it's not going to be instant, but just simply paying attention to where that club is striking the ground, you will start to find the balance of your golf swing. And your body will start to move. It won't move straight away. It's like balance. You don't learn balance straight away, but you will start to get the balance of your swing, and over time, that divot will start to be over on this side of the golf ball. So that's step one. Don't try, just notice first. Become aware of what you're actually doing. So before we look at maybe learning how to drive a bit straighter and a bit longer, let's just stay with contact just for a second and introduce you to the second step of accelerating your learning, which is adding variability to the way you play and practice. What I mean by that, well, a lot of players, we've just said, look, we want to strike the ball, the ground after the golf ball, and they're trying to get it right, and they're trying to fix themselves, and that's what they're trying to do. And it adds, what do you think? Again, way too much tension. We want to treat this, again, like riding a bike. Riding a bike for the first time, there's massive variability. You fall left and you fall right, and then because of that variability, your body starts to find balance, yeah? We don't stand on the bike and go, oh, let's try and get this right. We adjust, we work with that balance, right? It's the same in golf. Now, the key with striking, we want to get, striking that ground ahead of the golf ball. So notice where my body is. The further my body, my middle, my pelvis, and my body here is over the side of the golf ball, the more chance, I've got to striking the ball than the ground. The more my body is over this side of the golf ball, the more chance I've got of striking the ground behind the golf ball, and that will lead to those horrible fats and thins. But how do you find it? Well, it's a balance. So what I want you to do now is when you're practicing, just really exaggerate it. See how far forward this way you can get your body. And just hit some shots from that place. And then hit some shots from completely the other extreme. So your body now is falling right, basically, and falling left. It can start to find the right balance until you find the correct way to start to strike that ball, and you start seeing the results. So an example would be this. Let's start with everything way behind the golf ball here, so my body can experience that, and that's the key thing, experience. So much different to just thinking. That's me hitting the ground behind the golf ball. I can feel where my body is. Then what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to imagine now in a flowing way, I'm going to move feel my pelvis moving more and more forward of this golf ball here. So very naturally, I'm not trying to hit the ground. This naturally going to happen because of where my body is, right? So I now imagine going way ahead of the golf ball. And you'll notice here, I'm 5.4 inches, ahead of the golf ball, massively ahead of the golf ball. So what I do now is I don't go, oh, I've got to try and repeat that. No, just like riding a bike, I am just going to play around with it. I'm not going to try and be precise. I'm going to play around with and experiment with how forward I can get this body, this side of the golf ball. Look at that. I've gone even further forward on that one, 6.3. So I play around with that. And then what you can do, just like riding a bike, it can be cumbersome to start with and a bit wobbly, just like your swing, but in time you'll find balance. And this is what will speed up your process. The other way of trying to be perfect and try to get it right, all that does is it gets you stuck in your head, it gets you unbelievably tense over the golf ball, and you never really find balance. So let's move now on to the drive, the one club that everyone loves to hit well. I want to help you hit it straighter and gain some yardage. And we're going to use the same analogy of balance again, right? So if you are a slicer, you're certainly air on that side, let's say you're falling one way, maybe you hook the golf ball, you're falling the other way, and we want to try and find straight, somewhere in between. How can you learn this in a really natural way? Well, I want you to focus just for a second, just on your trail shoulder. What tends to happen with a lot of players, I want you to feel it first. You'll notice if you're slicing it, the chances are that trail shoulder rotates early in the downswing, goes outwards, and it also stays quite high, right? And that gets you coming over the top of the golf ball here. Add an open face, and you create this big slice to the right. If you hook the golf ball, what you'll probably tend to see here is you pay attention to the right shoulder, it'll tend to fall downwards to the ground very, very low. That gets the club heading too far to the right. All you've got left at the end is either a block to the right or a flip of the wrist, right? Now, neither's wrong what you're doing. It's a balance between those two. So I want you to feel it. So the first thing I want you to do is make a few swings. Don't try and fix anything initially. Just pay attention to what your right shoulder is doing. First of all, can you concentrate on it? Make some swings. This would be over. Feel what that's like. And now imagine it going under and just, grade it. Just pay attention to these things. You notice here, as it goes underneath, particularly if you're slicing, this is one of the reasons why you can really gain some distance with this. If that right shoulder starts to work more downwards, can you see how the body works this way? The head works almost like, stays backward, and it acts as almost like a catapult. So this is how you gain more yardage. But when this trail shoulder stays high, we start to almost not only slice, but lose power because we're heaving the ball forward. So all I want you to do now is simply pay attention to your trail shoulder. Now you know that if you want to stop slicing it, you want that right trail shoulder to be going more downwards. Don't try and fix it. Just get yourself set, pay attention to what your trail shoulder is doing, and allow the body to naturally move into a place. 2 seconds. Too much chatting and not enough hitting. Trapman's getting bored. Allow that trail shoulder to move into a place where I'm more likely to maybe draw the ball. Let's have a look at this in action. So again, nice gentle one to start with. Just paying attention to what my trail shoulder is doing. And there you go, a little draw, right? No big hits at this stage. All we're doing is just noticing what that shoulder's doing, right? And like for me, for instance, I tend to be in more of the hook family. So my trail shoulder will stay, I'll tend to travel too far laterally for too long, and then I'll flip the wrist sometimes. So my feeling when I'm talking about balance, I'm often feeling like I'm actually releasing this club and we're rotating a lot earlier, going through. My right shoulder doesn't feel as low as maybe it might feel for you if you're slicing it, right? But the key with it is this. I'm not trying to fix anything. I'm literally noticing where that trail shoulder is and thinking, that would be a slice. I might even hit a few shots doing that, right? That's a slice. And this is more going towards the hook. Now I need to find that balance. And there's no exact science with this. You just make some swings and allow your body over time to kind of really, really feel this. And in time, what we'll start to find is bit by bit, we'll start to get the sense of this, right? All I want you to do now is spend some time developing that awareness in your game, whatever you happen to be working on. Try and stay out of trying mode and fix it mode and start to become aware and experience what's happening in your golf swing. Just like riding a bike, you can't tell yourself to go right and left. You have to allow your body to experience these things. So when you're swinging and you're wanting to improve something, give your body a chance to experience it. Let it notice what's actually happening and let it naturally start to adjust for you. It is it's much, much faster, it's more relaxing and just fun. It's just fun to learn like this. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Maybe share it with a friend who you know could do with something like this. And of course, look, if you'd like more personalized advice from me, head on over to DannyMaude.com. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see me give a live lesson just like this to a student, click this video out right here. But until next week, have a wonderful golfing week.